France, you're free to go in 3, 2, 1.
Well, last week on Valderrama's iconic par 5 fourth hole, the European Tour hosted a Guinness World Record attempt for 4 people to play the fastest hole of golf. The previous best record, by the way, didn't break 1 minute, but Team France shattered that. Romain Wortel off the tee, this impressive 3-iron from Alexander Levy, and listen.
Be good! Be good!
I think he wants that one to be good. Well, it did turn out pretty well. Just catches the front of the green, rolls to the edge there. Gregory Havre would produce a pretty nice lag putt for Captain Raphael Jacquelin to tap in. They're a little bit excitable, you can tell, and do you know what? For good reason. They smashed the record, 34.87 seconds, and earned themselves a Guinness World Record title. So we had our own attempt in the simulator over the weekend on one of Harbour Town's par 5s. We had Chris DeMarco with the drive, and then the Rymer should never have picked up the hybrid. It all went wrong. However, we carried on. MVP Rex Hoggard with the chip, and then I just had a little tap in, but we were nowhere near breaking the record. You can see our clock there, 43 seconds, and Charlie loves being reminded of that moment on Saturday morning.
You made a 4-inch putt, and then you're throwing darts at me.
I converted. I did what I needed to do.
I mean, DeMarco is so short off the tee. He left me so far back, I had to push a little bit.
What you guys don't know is there was a lot of strategy that went into this in the morning meeting.
A lot of
because
strategy.
Charlie was going to take the tee shot. He reminded us all why he no longer plays professional golf in the nicest of ways. And he asked not to. You asked not to take the tee shot. So we thought we had a good strategy.
You're right about Rex. I was watching. I fell out of my bed.
Unbelievable.
He's a good shot. By the way, it's Hoggard, not Hogard.
I know, Hoggard. Yeah. I struggle with that. We all know that my pronunciation is a little different. Anyway, as we get on to a topic of conversation we're taking a while to get to, slow play. One of the funniest things about that video was that it was great to see the game of golf being played so quickly, yet we can't deny the fact that slow play is perhaps one of the biggest issues in our game. Charlie, what would be one of the ways that you would suggest it should be addressed for the amateur?
Well, we could do a whole show on it. We've done a series on it. But I think ultimately, wherever you play golf, if it's a club or a public facility, there needs to be a cultural change. Everyone needs to be on board. And the big thing that I want to see happen is I want to see my fellow PGA of America members get out of the golf shop and get onto the golf course. We need people that have authority and expertise on the golf course, helping beginners learn that it's okay to pick it up. If you're on a par 5 and you've hit it 7 times, you know what? Put it in your pocket. It's fine. You've got to get that expertise out there. I mean, we've got volunteers that are out on the golf course. That's a point of contact in our business. We need to get the golf people out there to help make this happen. I want to see golf course owners out on the golf course. I want to see presidents of management companies out on the golf course. You just can't send and delegate something that's so important to the people that are volunteers or the people that don't have the expertise that you have. It needs to be important. It needs to be cultural. It needs to be systemic. The superintendents can also help in the way they prep these golf courses, but it's something we need to get serious about, because if not, we're not going to have people playing this game, because people aren't going to go out and play golf for 5.5 hours. They're just not going to do it in this day and age.
No, they're not. And I agree with Charlie that the PGA professionals and the leaders of the club should be the ones to create the culture. But maintaining a culture, that's the incumbent responsibility of everybody who is a member of that club or the golf course in which they play, because the only way you're going to change it is if you pressure your peers into saying, let's make it better for everybody. And we talk all the time about what's the best way to speed up play on the PGA Tour, and we talk about, you know, shots and penalties and fines. You know what? Take away tee times. If you want to play at 9 o'clock and you're slow, sorry, you're going to play at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Amen.
Everybody has to buy into this. And until they do that, nothing will change.
It's interesting you mentioned the PGA Tour, because I don't think there's any hiding from the fact that the 2 best players in the world are 2 of the slower players out on the tour at the moment. I think that's a fair comment. Jason Day and Jordan Spieth both have a process they work through. They're professional, though. This is their career, and they have a lot of money on the line and a lot of, you know, world ranking points and everything that they play for. For the amateur, it's very different. I think learning to pick up and just being happy to pick up and move on. At home, we play a lot of Stableford golf over in Europe, and Stableford scoring is fantastic, because if you're any worse than a bogey, you blob, you can't get a point, so you pick up and move on. And here, similarly, with the handicap system being a little different, you know, if you can only score a double or triple as you're worse on a hole, if you're over that, pick up and move on. And the mentality of always holding out no matter what the number is definitely a factor that is well avoided.
Well, you talk about a double or a triple pickup. That's one of the reasons that Golf Channel's come out with relaxed rules. It's a way for people that are playing casual golf to sort of figure out a way to get around the golf course without having to break out a rule book, without having big discussions, oh, what should I do here, what should I do there? Like, for example, we saw on the PGA Tour this week, we saw a lot of rulings. It takes up a lot of time. These 7 simple rules, you can go out and play fun golf with your buddies, with your family, and get around the golf course in a lot quicker fashion. That's what these rules are intended to do. They're not intended to govern elite amateur golf or professional golf at the highest levels. Certainly you'd have all sorts of situations that these rules wouldn't cover, but these rules work great as an entry point. And if people get hooked on the game, understand these simple rules, and if they want to move up later on, that's great. And that's what's so important, to make people feel relaxed on the golf course, and they can speed up.
Can I just add one thing?
Sure.
Sorry, Gary.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the kart golf, in a funny way, people think speeds up play. We really rarely use karts over in Europe. In some ways, it slows it down, because if you've got 2 people who are different sides of the fairway, you don't know what club to use. I used my first ever golf board at Dubstred a couple of weeks ago, and to me, that was the fastest invention in terms of how to play. Because
Right to your golf ball.
Right to your golf ball. You've got your own bag. You can take it all the way up to the edge of the green. I was like, this is, without doubt, the fastest method I had used singularly to get around a golf.
It's great. I've got a couple of golf bikes that I've been using lately. It's a lot of fun as well. So, yeah, I mean, these are a lot of fun.
You look very stable.
You look completely unstable.
We've all got to get on the same page
Yeah.
to fix slow play.
We do indeed. All right, it's the bottom of the hour here. When we continue, you know how you can speed up play? Well, Michael Breed is going to help you, because if you're more efficient around the greens, less strokes, on to the next tee. It's Morning Drive on a Monday. Back after this. What was going on with you in the golf board? I mean, you jittery? Were you nervous?
Well, there's like a weight limit.